you for joining me today. This is Rivkah with Treasures of Glory, talking about the Treasured Wellness 365 consultations and quantum muscle testing. This is Treasured Wellness 365 consultation episode number 11, how you can remove sabotaging commands in the brain, Wernicke's area commands, and quantum clearing. It is written in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 23 through 24. Now may the God of peace himself sanctify you completely, and may your whole spirit, soul, and body be preserved blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. He who calls you is faithful, who will also do it. The Treasured Wellness 365 consultations focus on the human body pertaining to quantum muscle testing. There are other consultations available for ministering to the human spirit and soul that follow the initial quantum muscle testing appointment for those who choose to delve deeper into the process of sanctifying the human spirit, soul, and body. Disclaimer: the information contained in this video or presented via spoken word, including consultations, is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing that is said in this video or on the Treasures of Glory website or in any Treasured Wellness 365 consultation or publication anywhere is meant to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any disease or serve as a substitute for diagnosis, treatment, or advice from a qualified licensed medical professional. Anything said in this video, on the website, any publication, or in any consultation is not to be taken as medical or mental advice. Always seek the advice of a medical professional for any health or mental questions or concerns you may have. Do not stop taking any prescriptions without consulting your physician. And never take what is said here over the advice of a medical professional. The listener and our client understands that the practitioners with Treasures of Glory are neither medical practitioners nor are they engaged in rendering health, medical, or mental advice or services. The person receiving, accepting, and or using this information agrees to fully release Treasures of Glory, Rivkah Isaacs, or any practitioner with Treasures of Glory from any and all liability. Please click the subscribe button below if you would like notifications for future videos that are released. How you can remove sabotaging commands in the brain, Wernicke's area commands, and quantum clearing. So some background as to how this came about. In doing research regarding mind control, satanic ritual abuse, SRA, MK Ultra, government-sponsored mind control, and military abductions, including the 20 Back program, I came across information by Stephanie Relfe explaining how, through muscle testing, she was able to manually determine and remove commands from the Wernicke's area of the brain. Before I explain how I discovered how the quantum clearing modality I use works in this regard, let me share more information on what those commands entail. The commands that get programmed to the Wernicke's area of the brain are input to the right side of the brain. Both sides of the brain contain the Wernicke's area, but these are specific to the right side. These commands that are input into the Wernicke's area come from those who are authority figures. This can be people such as parents or teachers or others that one looks up to. Examples of things said by these authority figures may include things such as, "You're so stupid," "Why can't you be like so-and-so, fill in the blank," "You are always," "You're too fat," etc. Do any of these sound familiar? When these commands come into the brain, they come in as commands and get programmed into the Wernicke's area. One of the reasons that they are so hard to get to the root of to remove is that when they come in, they are in the second person, you. When they are remembered, they are translated from second person to first person, to I. So the command that came in as "you're so stupid" gets translated to "I am so stupid." This is very important as to why we have difficult time successfully overcoming these. When working through these, typically it's from the first person point of view. The brain is very exact on how commands are entered. Just like with computer commands, they have to be exact when inputting and deleting. These examples of authority figures laying down these commands in the Wernicke's area, such as parents and teachers, is one side of the spectrum. They may or may not know that they are putting these sabotaging commands in the brain. The other end of the spectrum includes those who know exactly what they are doing, such as programmers for MK Ultra, SRA, CIA, military, and alien abduction experiences. Those who knowingly input these commands into the Wernicke's area input commands are much more sinister in nature. Please note that this may be a trigger for some people. If so, please stop this video and wait until you're in a safe place to proceed. So some examples of these sinister commands may include such things as, "If you talk, we will kill you." "If you tell, we will kill your family." "If you don't obey, you'll die in a car accident." And there are so many more iterations of these. Remember that these commands come into the brain in second person, but are translated to the first person. So the person with these commands has thoughts. If I talk, they will kill me. If I tell, they will kill my family. If I don't obey, I'll die in a car accident. To have these incessant commands being played in the mind over and over are cause of much torment and distress. While reading some of Ms. Relfe's account of using muscle testing to determine the wording used and the commands to be removed and seeing how specific it is, she also mentioned that when working with someone who is still being abducted, they can be getting new commands. This means that the process she described is very tedious and can take an hour or more to find the specific wording for even 10 commands to remove them. This would take place over the course of many sessions. It's time-consuming and grueling work. The information I was reading gave some insight to the technique, but nothing specific as how to do this. I didn't know then that she had more detailed information as to how she does this, which I found as I was putting this video together. So this was over 2 years ago that I originally read the information. At that time, I began to experiment with the muscle testing modality I use to see if I could adapt what I learned from Ms. Relfe's information to what I do. After about 2 weeks, I was able to crack the code, so to speak, as to how to create a scan that can be transferred in the first client session that removes the negative commands that are laid down in the Wernicke's area of the brain. This is a one-time transfer that is worded as such that it not only removes the current negative commands in the Wernicke's area of the brain, but also continually removes any new ones that comes into the brain. It is worded as such that the body knows what to do and doesn't have to take hours to figure out the exact wording. This is a huge relief to those who find themselves working to extricate themselves from traumatic situations, and those who are targeted individuals, and those who may still be experiencing abduction situations. And I just want to give a point of note. There is hope in Jesus Christ to be set free from this trauma and targeting and mind control. Now, I want to share some anecdotal testimonies of how this scan has benefited others. So the scan of removing the commands and the sabotaging commands in the Wernicke's area of the brain. For those who do not have any knowledge of being targeted individuals who are clients and didn't have the experience of this extreme commands, they did notice a difference overall with the sabotaging commands being removed, although it wasn't as noticeable or as significant as others. For those who know they're working through healing for mind control, MK ultra targeting, SRA, etc., they had very significant results. One person I transferred this scan to, after I transferred the scan, I paused for a minute or so and was getting ready to ask a question. Before I could ask a question, the person said, "They're gone. Those thoughts are gone." And the person was so excited. About 10 minutes into the conversation, I asked how things were going, and the person said, "They're still gone. It's quiet." I followed up about 3 months later regarding the scan, and the answer was that the thoughts were still gone. And the commands didn't come back in the form of thoughts, nor any new ones were added. So this has been the case with all other clients. At least 3 other clients are healing from targeting and mind control that have received the scan. There is significant improvement in all these cases. And it's important to note that this is not a matter of power of suggestion or mind over matter. People spend lots of money and lots of time to be able to get to the root of the issues of the mind control and various things. And the one thing with the Wernicke's area commands can be very difficult to get to the bottom of. And so people who are dealing with mind control and they understand how difficult this is, understand that this isn't a mind over matter thing. You don't just hear something like this and have it because of power of suggestion, all of a sudden something that is so tormenting that just comes up and is gone immediately. So this is something that is very effective, and it's very, very life-changing for those who are dealing with this, especially on the extreme levels. This anecdotal evidence shows measurable, verifiable, and sustained change regarding the removal of commands in the Wernicke's area of the brain. Ready to schedule your quantum clearing appointment? If so, please schedule an appointment at www.treasuresofglory.com/consultations/. You can schedule an appointment by clicking the link in the description box below. I look forward to meeting you. Thank you for joining me today. Shalom.